Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you had a great week. Today we're in Oasis Springs and we are building a house I called the Tucson Villa. Now that it's officially summer and it's been very warm outside, I thought we would do a nice little desert build in the lush portion of Oasis Springs, and we're going to do a desert themed home with a beautiful backyard with like a swimming pool. There's also a rooftop kind of green space where your Sims can kind of sunbathe. There's also a nice back patio area and of course sun loungers too, so your Sims can kind of enjoy that as well. I do want to quickly mention that from now until July 9th, 2026, The Sims is offering up to 60% off select packs and kits. So if you feel like picking up anything from The Sims summer sale, either thesims.com or the EA app, feel free to use my creator code at checkout. You'll get an additional 5% off whatever discount you're already getting on whatever you happen to be picking up. So thank you so much in advance if you do decide to use my creator code, but no pressure if you don't. It does go to support me as a creator, so thank you so much if you do. But anyway, to the build. So the roof structure is quite interesting. I have these kind of like beamed off areas around the front door. There's one area off the side that we put a palm tree in between, and that kind of separates one of the bedrooms and the kind of like kitchen space. And then out the back, we have the patio space and the stairwell that goes up to the green rooftop. I'm just figuring out the floor plan now and the layout. Bedrooms are on opposite ends of the house, and then the kitchen is kind of part of the main living space in that one shape. I was trying to figure out windows here, and I do go back and forth between windows, but I do end up settling on base game windows in the end, so I kind of revert back to what I was originally doing, because I just didn't like any of these longer windows, and they didn't really match any of the glass sliding doors or anything that I wanted to have that right size. So this is where I'm putting all the windows kind of back to the base game, dark kind of thick framed windows. Just trying to figure out the side here. And we do use some smaller windows here for some different parts. It's kind of very symmetrical in some of the window spaces. We're doing a platform here for a fireplace, which is in the living room. And then we're going to do a nice little chimney over here, which we're just kind of fencing that off with some half walls and then doing a platform. I do add skylights up here as well into the main living space, the bedrooms and the kitchen, which we are doing now. I'm just kind of drawing out where those are going to go. And yeah, we just basically cut holes in the roof and make nice glass. And it makes really beautiful lighting, I have to say. So that is nice to bring some more light into the space. Not that there was like already like tons of windows and everything, but I do love having some skylights, especially in a build like this with a flat roof. It's just so nice to do. And I did use a platform to kind of create a little bit of kind of like an edge. So that's what we're doing here on the back patio area. This is going to be a kind of like sun lounger section, which is kind of off on its own. I was going to put some flowers and stuff to kind of make a planter box, but I actually thought it kind of looked nice with just the green in it in a weird way. I don't know. I just kind of liked it that way. So I left it with just green, but we do, of course, landscape. I was going to put a roof over top of it to make like a pergola kind of thing, but I decided against that because we already have so many different like roof structures and shapes and things like that throughout the house itself. I felt like we didn't need anything else over this space. Just fixing some of the windows here on the back and inside the house here, bringing them down so they kind of like line up, and just figuring out the main flooring. I end up settling on a concrete instead. So it is basically a concrete ultra-modern home, except in the bedrooms, I think. I think the bedrooms might be hardwood. Yes, and some of the platforms just to kind of create some depth and kind of elevation. You kind of see them from the gray concrete floor. It's kind of like a different thing. There is also a powder room off of the dining room, or a half bath, if you want to call it that, with just a toilet and a sink. We're doing the roof now and kind of painting all of the little half wall pieces that make up all of this nice little pergola area off the back, and fixing some of the trim that was kind of poking through into the main house, and kind of in weird spots where I didn't want it to be. So we're just doing that now and putting some trim around these skylights as well, so they look nice. We do a wood accent on the chimney, on this one back wall here and then by the front door. I do end up changing that out for a vertical slat instead of horizontal slat and a lighter one. I think it was the businesses and hobbies wallpaper, and it actually kind of tied in with the front door quite nicely, which was eco living. So yeah. I do want to mention that this build is already available on the Sims 4 gallery. Here is that listing if you want to go grab it. It's just called Tucson Villa. It's 95,121 simoleons on a 40 by 30 lot, and I used 21 packs, but no maker packs or anything from the marketplace, so it's all strictly just expansions and packs and stuff that were officially released. If you factor in the lot price, it's 106,189 simoleons. So this lot is actually quite expensive. I don't know why. Maybe because you have kind of like that body of water with the fountain behind there, maybe. Very kind of pricey area, perhaps. It is also the lush part, so maybe that has something to do with it as well. Because I was like, wow, that's quite a increase in price there. So, you know, just for the lot itself. We're now matching the landscaping to the world itself, or just this part of the world, kind of bringing in some of the natural flowers and trees and things, cactuses, palm trees, rocks. We'll go through it all. Also, I do want to mention that The Sims is releasing quite a significant game update on Tuesday, June 30th. So if you have been to play with a lot of mods or any custom content, keep that in mind. They are planning to fix a couple of long-standing glitches and things related to like windows and doors and some other general gameplay, which is really nice to see. One thing they have not seemed to fix or mention at all is the terrain paint bug, which got me on this build as well, because I did do all the terrain painting and stuff around this lot, like when I'm doing the landscaping like right now. And then later on, I come back to the build a couple days later to kind of finish it off. And I didn't even realize it at first. But then when I was like close to the end, I was like, oh yeah, the terrain paint's missing again. Gosh darn it. But it's okay, because I mean, I wanted to go put like stone and stuff around the edges of the pool, concrete area, and around the like steps up to the front and everything. So that's kind of when I noticed the like dirt and stuff that I'd already put down was missing. And I'm like, well, that is one they haven't fixed yet. I don't know if they ever will, but I really hope that they do. You should be able to use more than one terrain paint and layer them. I mean, that is the point of terrain paint, right? Like you are painting the terrain. You should be able to layer stuff. So yeah, we're doing some exterior outdoor lighting. I use these lights from one of the kits, which is what I used for the kind of patio furniture and everything, including the little fire pit. We do add a bar out here, and I am putting in a ceiling fan right now, which was also from the same pack, I believe, or at least one of the other kind of outdoor related packs. Just trying to decide on outdoor lighting and if I wanted to use like the spa day square light instead, but I decided not to use that. We're now lighting up the interior and making it nice and bright. Yeah, trying to avoid the skylights as well. I was trying to remember where those were, but yeah. So the main bedroom is over here on the right, which has access to the back balcony, and it has its own private bath with a bathtub. The other bedroom does not have a tub, but it does have a walk-in shower. So that's very nice. We were just figuring out wooden accent walls throughout, and then I was figuring out the color tones that I wanted to use for the wallpaper, but still have some accent walls here and there. The kitchen is more of like a whitish gray color. And then I bring in the accent wall into the dining room space as well, and into the kitchen too, to act as kind of like a backsplash behind the kitchen cabinetry. We were doing a range hood. I ended up using a countertop range, and then I slide in a separate oven. I did not put them over top of each other, even though you can do that with Move Objects. It actually doesn't work. At least it didn't work in the past. I haven't tested it recently, but I knew it didn't work and they had to be kind of off on their own. So that is why I did it that way, and it's kind of off to the side. I was thinking about putting the dining room into the island, kind of like slotting it in there as you see, but I ended up taking that out. Even though it looks cool, I was like, I don't know. So we ended up just putting a regular island with some bar stools instead, because I felt like using the same table twice in a pretty close kind of area. It was like, I don't know about that. And then we are doing some bookshelves on this back accent wall, which will become the living room. We do 2 love seats and a main sofa, kind of like surrounding the fireplace bit. We do a little side table there by the entryway, and just figuring out kind of end tables here. I end up using these square cubes, which is very nice. We do change out this floor lamp later on with a different one that I found in the catalog that I wanted to use instead of that. We do a little lamp in the kitchen there, and a mirror on the wall. What else do we do? Some potted plants around, which we will change for some different things as we progress. And yeah, this is where I changed that one out because I was like, I kind of like the green one over there instead. And then I used Tool to resize it a little bit instead of the bracket keys, because the bracket keys made it too large for what I wanted it anyway. We're now putting in a, I'm drawing a blank on what that was called for a second there. Gosh, I still am. Wow, that is surprising. But that is gosh, why can't I think of what that's called? Literally right there. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Coffee table. My gosh. Can't believe I forgot what that was. That's so embarrassing. But we're now working on the other bedroom, which is more of like a muted tone bedroom, kind of bringing in some of the natural woods and just some very nice light, airy colors. This is not the main bedroom. This is the secondary bedroom. The main bedroom takes on more of a kind of black, dark theme. And I think that's because I kind of wanted to tie it in with the exterior door and just the bathroom fixtures and stuff. I was thinking about like green in here and like green accent walls to kind of maybe bring out some of the green in the bedding. But I decided against that and just left it this nice kind of like pastel-y pink color, which I think is actually quite nice because then I use a green and a white tile in the bathroom to kind of blend the bedding a little bit into that space, since this bathroom is part of the bedroom here. And we're using a mixture of sleek bathroom kit and home decorator. I did use the half wall here to put some clutter and stuff on and do like a little vanity space. Instead of putting the mirror above the sink, I decided to put it over there, only because it would have been so close to the exterior window there. I just felt like it would look weird. And you don't always need to have a mirror above a sink. It could be in other areas. We're now working on the main bedroom bath, where I put a bathtub into the corner here, but on an angle. Don't worry, it is fully functional. Sims will enter from the back side of the tub. And there still is plenty of space just in case they decide to enter from a different side. So yeah, there's no issues there. And then the vanity sink, I'm just lowering the towels down to make it kind of match and just quite look. I was thinking about putting something else here, but then I'm like, no, because what if Sims need to get into that area? I don't want to kind of block that off. And now we're working on the main bedroom, which has this beautiful glass wall window. This is where we are trying to figure out the color scheme. And I opted for, I was going to try a dark wood with black, but then I just ended up changing those to black in the end, just because I felt like it worked better. We were just trying to figure out curtains, and I have to say that curtains are very frustrating in this game, especially compared to like Paralives. I kind of wish we had Paralives curtain system. Like, oh my gosh, that's just amazing to have that. We really need that for The Sims 4, or at least something similar to that. Just gives you more flexibility. I think that would be so great, because curtains are a real pain point and they really do have problems sometimes snapping to windows or exactly where you want them to be, but also you have problems with like lengths and widths and everything like that. So like I had to use 3 curtains to make that one curtain over the bed, whereas like if it was stretchable, you could basically just need one curtain, kind of one object, if that makes sense. But I know it probably will never happen, because I mean, obviously Paralives is a different game and everything, different game engine, so whatever. But I just would love to see that at some point, or again, something similar. But just the flexibility is so nice. And speaking of Paralives, we will be jumping back into that. I plan my next build to be a Paralives speed build. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. Don't have any kind of ideas sticking. Well, actually I have one. I'm thinking about like a tiny house of sorts, to kind of see how that works and see if I can do something kind of off grid and actually pretty compact and tiny. But I was also thinking more of like a tiny little cozy cottage, perhaps. So I have a couple ideas floating in there. I'm not really sure what it's going to be, but we shall see. But I do want to hop back into Paralives and do a build in there, since we have been working on some Sims 4 builds, these past 2 builds. But I really do love how this house turned out. I am doing open shelves in the kitchen. I decided on these square cubes because they match the kitchen cabinetry, because they're from the same set, I believe. So I think that works quite well. Just trying to place around some different clutter. We find this bag and some plates and mugs and things like that to clutter up the little shelves. Found these apples and then some soap and a sponge, which I put on the island there, and just some other general kitchen clutter. We do put some more potted plants in front of the doors here out to the windows actually, by the dining room here, just to kind of make it feel like more homey and lived in. And we do a potted plant up top on the kitchen shelves. I was going to put the bar in the kitchen at first, and then I was like, oh, let's put it over here. But then I'm like, no, this makes more sense over in the actual patio space. So we put it over there, and then this little table here becomes kind of like a little like music table. We just do a little radio, which I thought was quite nice to have, that you could listen to while your Sims are cooking. We do swap out all of these pictures and paintings that I'm putting in here. I decided to go grab some paintings from the gallery instead, which does not count as custom content. They are just painted by reference by Sims, and then people have shared them. And I thought it was nice to have some different artwork, because I always seem to use like the same things or the same ones throughout builds, and I wanted something different. So this is where I'm kind of going like, oh, let's see what we can do. So I found these, and I thought these were so cool. So I decided to use these instead and kind of grab the ones that I wanted. And I did locations in this first bedroom here on the wall, which I thought was so nice to actually have like real references to actual real life locations, not vacations. I'm thinking about a vacation. That was nice to have. And the living room, I think I did keep those 2 paintings. We were doing some little clutter on the coffee table, but I think I just ended up with magazines, and that's about it. I was going to put like a mug or something, but then I'm like, no, let's just leave it like that. And then we do come back and add a bird kind of figure to the other side of the fireplace, just to balance it out, because we have the books on the other side. Doing some more kitchen clutter here, just to kind of clutter it up a little bit more, but still plenty of space for Sims to prep meals. But it's still very simple and clean. Doing some custom cushions on the couches in the living room, and now we're finishing out the potted plants by the windows here in the dining room, just to kind of like, I don't know, make it feel more homey and more green in that space. And it's nice to have that little like step up there, so it kind of makes it a little more like a place to put plants, especially since it's in front of the window. They're a little bit out of the way. Doing some more potted cactuses and stuff over here. And then I just found this plant, which I sized down just by 1 by the bracket keys, just to fit in that little slot there. Doing a burglar alarm, we do a fire alarm, and then over here I do build out a custom kind of building thing to hide the trash cans. They end up being in like a room off the back. I don't know if I filmed that part. I might have filmed that off camera. I'm not 100% sure. But basically there's a glass door into this small little like 1x3 room off the back of the kitchen there that you have to access from outside to get to the trash cans. And it's just nice to have them hidden away. I didn't want them out front, kind of taking away from the front elevation. And then I was going to do this wall here and have something kind of like climbing up this like lattice wall from the pot there, but I decided against that. We do end up taking that out, and I just put a palm tree in the pot instead, and we do this nice custom mailbox from one of the kits, and that's when we change out the living room lighting. And then this bar tray I end up putting on the actual bar, because I was like, oh, that kind of makes more sense, then putting it in the kitchen. And then we're balancing out the fireplace there, and doing some more exterior lighting with these weird, like kind of like flowery light things that came with one of the packs. Oh, I do actually film the trash can room. I'm just adding that onto the back of the build just to kind of make it blend in, and gives a little bit more definition to this side. Not that there already isn't, because you have that like dip in where the palm trees are in between the 2 windows that kind of like see through each other. And yeah, I was trying to figure out what to put here, but we do a palm tree in the pot, and I was just figuring out where I wanted it to be placed so it didn't clip the wall, but didn't also look weird where it was. We do a little pink flamingo in the front there, and then we're just doing some more landscaping here, just some plants. And then I do work on the pool here, but I do end up taking this decal out. But it was being weird, and I wanted to delete it, but it wouldn't let me pick it up. It would only let me delete the whole pool, which was annoying, so I had to undo all of my changes. But in the end, we got it working, and I think it is actually a very nice space. I do decide on not using an umbrella instead because I felt like it was just distracting and kind of in the way. But here is the finished Tucson Villa. This is the front of the build. And then we move around to the back side of the build, which I think is my favorite. It just looks so pretty. I love the little rooftop space as well. This is my favorite shot, I think. It's just so pretty with the lighting coming down through like the beams over the like seating area there. It's just so nice. This is the top down of the floor plan. So you can see it's a very interesting shaped layout and floor plan. I was not using any inspiration. It just literally came from my head. So, it's very crazy. But yeah, this is the living space, the dining room. You can see the giant skylight up there. And then we flip around to the dining room side and you can see the waterfall for the pool. It's just a really nice view out the sliding glass doors and the windows there. Really pretty. And then we're moving in towards the kitchen now, which is also very nice and has a lot of natural light coming in, especially with its own sliding glass door. It's just really nice, plus the skylight. This is the first bedroom, and you can see the custom paintings there on the walls, and I just think it's so nice. Gives it a different look and a different vibe. This is the bathroom that is included off of that bedroom. Very nice as well, and I kind of tied in the green from the bedding. And then we move to the primary bedroom, which is a very kind of like black theme with some like an open wardrobe and some bookshelves there. And then this is the bathroom as part of that primary suite, which also has its own walk-in shower and a bathtub I managed to squeeze in there. This is the patio, bar space, and fire pit, coupled with a nice ceiling fan. And then we move up to the green space kind of sun lounging area, which is just, it's so cool up there. I really love that. Probably my favorite part. But I do hope you enjoyed this speed build. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to go grab this on the gallery. And that's all I had for this video. So I do thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon with another build.